And what's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for the second night in a row. Two turn alert videos, and all four of them talking about heel turns. Now, this one I could have made three separate videos, but since this is a trio of mostly a lot of newer talent to WWE, not just on the main roster, but to NXT as well, there wasn't really too much to say about each one individually, so I felt it would be better off to talk about these three together, which are NXT stars Ruby Riot, Liv Morgan, and she has been on NXT for too long, but she's best known for her run in the Mae Young Classic, Sarah Logan. All three of these women appeared on SmackDown Live tonight, with Ruby Riot seemingly taking charge to pretty much doing the same thing that happened last night on Raw between Paige, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. And it's kind of ironic because you got Ruby Riot, who I think her and Paige are similar in their look, their promos, and whatnot. And then you got Liv Morgan, who's like, similar to Mandy Rose with, the appearance and such. And then Sonya Deville and Sarah Logan, two like, kind of badasses. Well, they're supposed to be looking like them. Like, they may still be a little green. Well, Sonya Deville especially. Sarah Logan maybe not as much because she looked pretty strong in the Mae Young Classic. But, Ruby Riot spent her whole run on NXT as a babyface. And I felt that, I don't know why, I could see her as a heel in some ways. And the more that, I got to see Ruby Riot, the more I did kind of see a little bit of Paige in her. So I felt maybe someday they might go a heel route with Ruby Riot, but she was working great as a babyface down at NXT. So yeah, they debuted tonight on SmackDown Live in a backstage segment where they just see Naomi and they just stand there like, oh, we don't mean to cause any trouble, we just want to, and then they start beating her up, and they do the same thing with Becky Lynch, and then later in the SmackDown Women's Championship match, they beat down on both Natalya and Charlotte, making statements. Same exact thing as what happened last night with Paige and Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. So it's got me wondering, it's just ironic with how weird this all is. This all happened the same week with Paige returning, bringing stars from NXT on her show, on Raw, and on SmackDown we get the same exact thing. Is this just, just trying to throw three random people? Well, Paige is not really so much random since she was already on Raw before she took her hiatus. But is this leading to some type of angle here? Like, are both of these teams like working together on the same show to just invade the NXT roster? Because you remember last night, Paige did not really get to explain her actions. This could be Paige, saying she was gone to, and here's the thing though. I feel like they were kind of going this direction when Paige did turn heel on Charlotte and Becky back in the fall of 2015, but then she immediately reverted back to a babyface in January, which it was just really random and just out of the blue. But then we had, where was I going with this now? And then she comes back as a heel. I feel like that she was trying to go down the same path, because when she first turned heel back then, she was saying how, I'm the one who started the women's revolution. I've seen one who's being forgotten about this. Well, with Paige being gone, and Charlotte, Sasha, somewhat Becky and Bayley also, and all these other talents, like reviving the women's revolution, she probably feels like she's the one who started it. And bringing up these people from NXT to show, her women's revolution, showing that she can be the one to help to take over the WWE women's division altogether, both on Raw and SmackDown. So if there is kind of like a connection between these two alliances, that could be it. If not, then it's just them just throwing a bunch of random people up there. I'm really surprised, though, that neither of these alliances had Billie Kay or Peyton Royce. I felt that maybe at least we get the iconic duo. It didn't have to be, Ruby Riot also. It wouldn't make sense since Ruby Riot was just feuding with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, like in a non takeover feud. It wouldn't quite make sense if they had her pair with them. But I'm really surprised that even Billie Kay and Peyton Royce weren't teaming up with Paige. They could have pulled that off. But I did hear that Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose are both former Tough Enough participants, and Paige was a judge for Tough Enough when this happened. So they may have had connections through there, and I mean, it's just strange though. So I'm still interested to see what goes on with these two stables as well. Hopefully there is some type of connection. This could be leading to a legit takeover by NXT Women's Division, or it could lead to a Women's Royal Rumble match as well, getting some more women in there. As it seems to be pulling the strings on a lot of different things for the women since the women's title came back. Maybe this is next on their list. Let's get a Women's Royal Rumble going. They have a Women's Money in the Bank winner. Now, I forgot to talk about this in my SmackDown review, but I know some people were disappointed that Carmella didn't cash in on Shaw because all three of the women beat Charlotte down. Well, if they beat down Natalya and they beat down Charlotte, everybody else, they probably would have tried beating down Carmella. So maybe it was best that Carmella didn't try to cash in tonight. I forgot to mention that in my SmackDown review. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, that's pretty much on the heel turn of Ruby Riot, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan on SmackDown Live. And also, too, like Liv Morgan as well, she, was more just like a green baby face on NXT who just, was trying to be just that young, girl that everyone seemed to want to hang out with. And then, the new look she had over her last match I've seen her on NXT, it looked like I looked at her thinking, that's the look of a heel. If she turned heel, I could see that look with the new hairstyle and whatnot in there. And let me tell you what, it capped off because I thought she worked out great. Sarah Logan, looked pretty strong tonight. And Ruby Riott as well with this, darker character her as well. We'll see where it goes again. But hopefully those two stables have some type of connection right here. And we'll see what happens next week, as Paige will probably be able to explain herself as she didn't get to this week. And again, we might get the answer then. But what are your thoughts again on these three stables? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, please click that like and subscribe for more content on this channel. Follow me on Twitter, @Airborne93. And stay tuned as always for more WWE Turn Alert.